Hondamayans, first map in Group B. So, our first match, our first best of 5 is Team Mascarade going up against Team Ultralisk. Another best of 5 series here. Group A is done. 2 teams advanced, 2 teams got eliminated. Now that we're moving into Group B, we're of course going to find out who's going to make it through here. In total in the group, we have Team Ultralisk, Team Mascarade, Team Sven, and Team Dino. And only 2 of the teams will make it out of the group into the next stage, and the other 2 will be eliminated. So our first match, and the first thing that happens is Vala gets banned against Team Mascarade and Commander Rex. That was kind of to be expected. I'm not quite sure if they're going to ban out Vala on every single map, but we've been talking a lot about Commander Rex and his Vala plays, so it doesn't really come as a shock that now Vala gets banned out. Now, quick reminder, once again, when we're talking about the draft, every single hero can only be drafted once within a series. So a hero that you see in game number 1 cannot be played throughout the rest of the series. That starts limiting the hero pool a bit. It doesn't really play a role in best of 3s all that much. In best of 5s it's a bit more impactful. We have 90 heroes overall in the hero pool, of course. So if you make it to like a 5th map, that means 40 heroes are unavailable. So it's definitely going to impact certain roles to an extent. This isn't quite Meta Madness, so it's not going to get totally crazy. But keep in mind that we also have bounties that we added. So teams can give themselves a handicap by playing certain combos, certain heroes. And if they're successful, then they get a share of the bounty pool. Now, when we're talking about the rewards for the teams, in total we have $2,500 of prize money in this tournament. Once again, huge shout out to Kevin, to Psyche, who makes all of this possible. And thanks to him, we now have $1,500 that goes to the top 3 in the tournament, and then we have $1,000 that goes to the bounty pool. And every single time that a team completes a bounty, they get 1 ticket for that pool. And at the end of the tournament, depending on how many bounties were completed in total, and depending on how many bounties were completed by an individual team, they get their share of that pool. So at this point in time, if I'm not mistaken, we have 7 bounties that were completed in total. So every single bounty that you get is still giving you a fair chunk of money. There were a lot more bounty attempts, but most of them have failed so far. At the end of the day, again, it is a handicap. So Uther gets banned. He's going to be the final one here. We have also 2 subs today for Team Mascarade. Mascarade isn't here and Mopsio isn't here. Sadarth and Exilom are playing instead. It would be freaking hilarious, honestly, if a team that struggled as much as Team Mascarade would now, with those 2 subs, all of a sudden, you know, step it up and just start winning. When we're talking about the favorites in this one, Ultralisk's team is currently the favorite. We had Mascarade struggling massively in the round robin, and they placed nearly last there. So right now, that means that the blue team is definitely the ones that you would expect to do a little bit better here. That's also how these groups just work in general. Seeding, obviously important, is one of the main reasons why we did the round robin in the first place. But let's see what's going to happen. So we got now Malfurion, and we have Hogger, Imperius, ooh, Blaze, Imperius, and Varian. Ah, that's where the twist comes in. We get the Meme Blades Varian pick, and Imperius gets played as the main tank. Nah, I'm just kidding. The chances that we're getting Meme Blades Variant are pretty low. This is honestly one of the bounties. If we ever have a 3rd season, it's one of the bounties that I personally think about dropping, because it doesn't seem that teams are interested in playing that at all. So yeah, I don't think it's happening. Commander Rex with Gul'dan as the final pick as we're heading into game number 1. Haunted Mines again is our first map. So guys, without further ado, map number 1 between Team Mascarade and Team Ultralisk. Game number 1, Team Ultralisk on the left side in blue with X-Ray on Varian. We have the man himself on Imperius. Meldor with Blaze. Außenseiter is playing Tychus. And we got Porky from Stukov. And at that point, again, a shout out to all the players playing cross-server, hightailing from Korea. And then, of course, we have Porky, we have Fancy Pants, Madara, a few others that are playing from the NA server. All these games are taking place on Europe, so if you're playing cross-server, that means that you have, by default, a bit of a ping disadvantage. So a big shout out to all of them still playing in the tournament here. On the right side, Valar with Genji for Team Mascarade. We got Commander Rex on Gul'dan, Sadarth on Hogger, Yazun Murden, and Exilom on Malfurion. Quick reminder, 2 players are missing today for Team Mascarade, Mopsio and Mascarade, to name the 2. And Sadarth and Exilom are the 2 that have been subbing in here, and we'll see what they can actually pull off at this point. So, right now, we're getting a Fellflame build for Gul'dan, and well, with Tychus also in the mix for Außenseiter. It's actually kind of funny, by the way, because Außenseiter is obviously known for his Genji plays, and Genji has very quickly been picked away from him. So that means that he won't be able to play him in this particular match at all. Oh, voila! Yeah, that little jump was a bit short. For a second I thought that he would be punished and maybe killed. But he is able to get out, gets also a heal from Malfurion. That definitely helps. But let's see what we're getting. Commander Rex already just like trying to get up some stacks here with his Fel Flame build here for the Pursuit of Flame. And just using all of that wave clear. The lower stages have not been opened up yet on Haunted Mines. The lower level is still closed up. But we have the first few camps now getting attacked, and it's all about the pumpkins at this point in time. So, Pumpkin Mania. We are making a bit of a move for it. Okay, next little attack is also coming. They're still starting to zip this out a bit. Nicely done. And over here on the right side with Sadath and Valar, we are also looking at Siege Giants that get picked up by the team in red this time. A lot of poking happening. Everybody just double checking if they can maybe invite at some point. Is there somebody they can flank in? The early game motions that everybody is going through. And of course, for all the heroes that have stacking quests, they're still fairly eager to get those completed as quickly as they can. But it's just about getting some camps for yourself, wait it out until the mines get announced, and that's going to be happening in roughly 20 seconds. Then we're going to get the first objective. And with the first objective, it's always kind of interesting because you can't really just ignore it. If you can push a lane while your opponent is gathering up skulls and do some damage, you might find yourself in a position where you do the same or even more damage than they can with the big golem. So you really have to go for a bit of a risk-reward calculation whenever you're going for objective number 1. You can essentially make the same argument also for the second objective, but after that you are probably best advised to put some time and effort in to grab, in this case, the golem or whatever other map we're talking about here. Level 4 talents are kicking in, mines will open in a few seconds, and Genji is indeed first kill. So, nicely done. Easy kill for them, 1 kill to 0. By now we also have Thunderburn in for Murden. And that means, of course, that we're going to get healing static later on. And the blue team is very quickly starting to make their play for those skulls. So, yeah, there we go. Overall, triple frontline, obviously, for Team Ultralisk in this case. We're having, on top of that, for the opponent, the typical double frontline with 2 damage dealers. I mean, Imperius is obviously adding also a lot of damage for the blue team. So it's not having any damage here. But Garrosh, Gul'dan just like burning through those camps with ease. And there is a significant advantage already for Team Ultralisk. The question, of course, is can they also get a few skulls from the golem here in the middle? Or is the red team completely going to control this one? And so far, they're doing okay. There's a taunt! But Murden is able to jump out. They're still zipping around. Yeah, X-Ray was in trouble for just a moment. And most of these skulls are getting picked up by Team Mascarade. The red team is doing very well on the big golem, at least for the time being. Yeah, Tiger's is going to come in a second. A few at least now being picked up by Team Ultralisk too. They're sitting at 62%. Oh, stun root, and X-Ray is gone. Nice. Talk about nice. 69 skulls for the blue team. Now they lost 1 here in the process. Now it's a kill for a kill. They're still having at the top a chase going on, but the Storm Bolt misses. Murden can't stop him here. Nice little play by Hogger. But it's not enough to really make a big difference on this. So as is, we now have at the bottom of the map the smaller golem pushing 31%, 31 skulls, and top side this is the big push potentially from the blue team. The rule of thumb was always that you're trying to push with a strong golem. You have the strong golem, you push. You have the weak golem, you defend. Again, not always applicable. Depends a little bit on what kind of heroes are being played. If Sylvanas is, for example, in the game. But as a rule of thumb, it kind of works. So they are pushing in with level 7 talents right now. There's only 1 defender down at the bottom of the map. The red team is doing their best to try and defend the fort, which is going to be a little bit tricky. They might be able to save it, but it is going to be low no matter what. And like Golem is already doing nice damage, with attacks also coming in from Tychus with a quick grenade against the minion wave. It was already dropping low. And this is actually potentially fort number 1 in this game. Golem did a lot of work. They have to poke this out a bit. Blaze isn't here. Now Hogger is coming in. X-Ray gets again locked down. He already died once. This might be... Oh no, turns it around with a taunt. And they get the kill against Budget Gimli. Muradin is dead. Another jet propulsion as they're aiming for a second one. And Malfurion is out of luck here. Yeah, Malfurion got speared and then eliminated. So job well done. That opens up the fort itself, of course. And this one is gone. Nice. So fort gets destroyed. Easy peasy. Down to the bottom of the map, we're still seeing, first of all, a few towers fall. Those siege giants have done work, but again, it's like nowhere in comparison to what was accomplished at the top of the map by the blue team. They took an entire fort out, and therefore also the fountain that makes things much more manageable for them from here on out. So yeah, pretty solid move, very nicely done. And the question on that is then always, yeah, how is this going to continue for them? I mean, as is, we're now seeing them push through the bottom of the map as well, trying to take down a few of these too. A few of the towers, maybe eliminate the gates. So far they're doing pretty okay. They're also getting closer and closer to level 10, which is of course the next big step here. You want to get those heroic abilities, and since the window is fairly big, you can make some moves with it. They're already trying it, attempting to force the fight just before they're heading heroics. Doesn't quite work out for them, but here we go. We have Odin. No surprises. Blaze, as the old prepper that he is, has gone into the bunker. If you're asking yourself where all the toilet paper went that people bought during COVID, like, this is it. It's all in Blaze's bunker. This guy is ready until eternity. So no matter what happens, a new comes down from Tychus or whatever it is, Blaze is ready. He's been prepping for ages. Like, all the toilet paper is down there. Yasu. Oh, careful. Yeah, he's locking in everything. OJ, second glove is in. Like, you miss it, he has it. That's essentially what's happening here. So now down at the bottom of the map, we have again the lower levels opening up, and the blue team is immediately trying to get the lead here. But now both teams have level 10. So, party is coming in. Careful. Nice attacks. Horrify from Gul'dan. And the X-Strike does not get the kill, but Gul'dan does. They're losing one. They're losing two. And ho 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 ho. Team Mascarade. Opening this up with a bit of a bang. That's a lot of dead heroes. Only one makes it out, and that is Ultralisk. And even he is getting chased here. So, yeah. What is happening, by the way, when Gul'dan uses a Horrify? I mean, what exactly are these people afraid of? I mean, when we're talking about someone like Tychus, I can totally see him being a full arachnophobe. Maybe he's like, ah, spider! And he's like afraid that a spider got into his suit and like claws around there. But yeah, what happens there? Like, Gul'dan just goes for Horrify, so what does that do to you? What are these people afraid of? When we're looking at Varian, he's clearly afraid of a haircut. I mean, that's an easy one. I think when we're talking Tychus, it's probably spiders, but yeah, Blaze, maybe water, maybe ice. I mean, I don't know what it is. But Gul'dan seems to be a bit of a mind reader, honestly. If he's that good that he can just easily conjure that up and make people afraid of it. So, yeah, either way. 5 kills to 4. We're now having at least a couple of skulls taken by Team Ultralisk because they went for the big golem there. But obviously, this one is just a bit better for the red team. So they can start to make their play here. Already attack now for the next pumpkin camp. But this could cost the blue team a fort. It could definitely cost them a fort. There's a chance that they're losing one on this. So a little bit of a push maybe with their own. They could always try and trade, specifically since they also have their own pumpkins at the bottom of the map. Menaldor riding into battle on the money pick. Actually trying to flank it up. They want to go for the team fight here. Yeah. Looks for the jet propulsion. Hits it against Muradin. I think it was aiming initially to flank in on Malfurion. Yeah. Oh, careful. Oh, the double stun and spear and the follow-up from Stukov. Beautiful. All the stuns that they hold, whenever they can follow that up with a good lurking arm, there's of course trouble brewing for the opponent. The shockwave hitting 3, not too bad either. Oh, but talking about hitting things. Genji got slapped around here. Yep, they're getting a double kill. Muradin and Genji both get destroyed. It was a pretty sweet play that they had. So look at this. Look at Genji. Genji came in and then they turned it against him beautifully. So stun, bam, gets taken out, and that led to a follow-up kill. The fort at the bottom of the map has now been destroyed. We have 7 kills against 5. And Team Ultralisk is doing pretty okay. They're actually doing fairly well here. So taking the lead in experience, taking the lead also in kills. And taking the 2 forts out, of course, is a huge step forward. That means that there's no fountains anymore in the middle of the map for Team Mascarade. It was always the case that the blue team was the favorite heading into this. Now, there's a lot of important talents coming in on 13 now. Muradin in particular has, of course, a lot more survivability now. Talking about Muradin with that Stormbolt, hits it against Malfurion, against Imperius. Malfurion with Tranquility as they're starting to slowly back off and retreat a bit. Yeah, the Shockwave. They need that damage, though. They really need to follow this up also with Gul'dan. Commander X with another Horrify. Yeah. I actually think I know what Varian is horrified of. Varian is horrified of being reunited with Anduin. He's just like, keep that creep away from me. It's like, please. I already died so that I can escape, and that's the last thing that I want. Oh, big hit. Who said anything about the Nexus? I thought I'd get sweet relief in death, but yeah, no, I don't want to be together with a crybaby anymore. I can't blame him. I can't blame him. Yeah, really nice double kill from Hogga towards the end of this. I mean, again, first event for Muradin, but he escaped, and then the blue team is losing to Hogga with a beautiful kill, which equalizes the kill score now 7-7. So yeah, Hogga with a pretty big play here. It's honestly, in experience and in kills, it's fairly close. It's really the structures where Team Mascarade is suffering the most, which is obviously one of the most important aspects to the game, at least in this phase of the map. But yeah, we'll see how this goes from here on out. 50,000 damage for Gul'dan, that puts him easily into the top spot when it comes to damage dealt. We have 41,000 for Tychus, so he's there as well. And yeah, then in the meantime, we're looking also towards Genji, who's sitting at 35k. The fight continues. So far, the red team is doing a little bit better on the skulls, but they lose Muradin. Yeah, Muradin is gone. The chase again. Oh, Malfurion. Yeah, he's on the wrong end of that battle. In today's time, Malfurion would be a YouTuber. He needs to be the guy that is in the back and just holds the camera when he's at the front and something has gone horribly wrong and he's just getting punched around a little bit and gets the big slap. So yeah, it's just going to be slap, 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 and Malfurion is just not meant for the front line. That's just what it is. Heroes like him and Ando need to be far in the back so that they can act tough a little bit, you know, put the occasional comment in and hit him! Or something like that. But yeah, you don't want to rely on them up at the front. Level 16 is kicking in for Team Ultralisk. We had 9 kills to 7. It was of course big to get those kills during the objective phase. And it leads to another big golem for them. 72 skulls against 28. And that's going to be a wicked push. Absolutely. Especially since they also have that level 16 talent advantage. But given that the red team is currently trying to get some extra experience at the bottom of the map, I assume that's going to be negated in just a moment. So, but yeah, the attacks, they keep continuing here. So what we get right now is X-Ray already starting to rush over again and make a little play here. So yeah, trying. We have 9 kills to 7. Yeah, 16 to 15, but they will get level 16. They will get the extra talent. It's going to kick in and they're going to get their chance here. So here we go. We have Rampant Hellfire in, Fell Armor by now. The 16 talent is going to help him a bit, but there comes Odin. Odin gets quickly chosen, and that's of course, wow, that's going to be at least a 4. Oh, nice kill. Beautiful kill. Against Gul'dan of all people. He's the one that they really need for the wave clear. But now they have Odin and the Golem against them at the 15-minute mark. It's very like, I mean, it's the game, isn't it? Keep is already gone, and just look at that Golem. The hit points on that beast are still nearly full. Red team has to make a play. They're trying to dash in to get a kill, but it's not working for them. So as long as they're not getting... Ah, there we go. Imperius goes down. Maybe now a chance to defend this, but the blue team is still attempting to do work, and they're getting another hit and connect as they're aiming for Muradin. They stun lock him out and take him on. The core is soon going to start losing a few of the hit points here. Ah, this is not looking good for Team Mascarade. They're losing too much. Genji gets rooted. Malfurion again isolated and taken down. And this looks like the beginning of the end for Team Mascarade. Game number 1. They are about to get murdered. 12 kills to 8. The core is down to 50%. The Golem is gone. Can the blue team push through here? They're trying and they're going for Hogger. He gets eliminated. A 2-level advantage now for the blue team. They're still poking, Meneldo in particular. And with Genji gone, that means it is a 4 versus 1 essentially. Gul'dan alone is not going to be able to stop them here. So yep, the auto attacks, they keep coming. The core down to 10. And that is game. Team Ultralisk taking the 1-0 lead in this round. Nicely done. GG and well played.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Game number 2, Towers of Doom is our second map. Team Ultralisk has taken the lead, everybody. So, feels like we haven't been on Towers of Doom in a while. I believe in Group A it was mostly banned, but here we get the map. Also, we've been talking a lot about the bounties in the first draft, and I want to show them once again. So these are the bounties in case that you're unfamiliar with it. Now, we might change some. If there is ever a third season of the Banshee Cup, there is a chance that we're going to switch some of the bounties out. There's a few bounties where I'm pretty certain that we're never going to see them attempted. Now, to tell you the truth, I also thought that that Lily and Chen would be one of those, but it was actually attempted in Group A. Now that we're heading into, you know, our second map here, into the best of 5 matches, there's definitely a chance that we're getting some of those. But yeah, if we have a third season at some point in the future, we might actually make some adjustments here. The idea is always to keep it simple. I know that some people always come, oh, I would love to see like this and that. My favorite example is, for example, is people that are saying like, oh, Chen and Sonya, washing machine on level 20. It's way too complicated. You have to pick the 2 heroes, you have to pick the right ults, you have to make it to level 20, and then you have to execute it as well. So there's like too many variables floating around, and we want to keep it fairly simple for the teams and also for the audience. It's already confusing enough to a lot of viewers and some players as is. But yeah, just a little bit of an idea again what the bounties currently are, and they could still be attempted. Now, as we're heading here or continuing with the draft, we have again Vala banned. Once again, Commander Rex against him. Dehaka and Anubrak for Towers of Doom. So with Dehaka, you already have a global, which is of course fairly powerful here. And Ultralisk locked in Sergeant Hammer immediately. So yeah, Johanna played by X-Ray most likely here. And I'm a little bit curious. I mean, they already decided that they're going for a full-on Sergeant Hammer combo. That was a decision that was made very early in the draft. So Team Mascarade can essentially prepare for that and can see, okay, how do we deal with this best? They picked Chromie as one of the reactions to make sure that they have some damage from a distance. So Ultralisk already knows what he's up against, and Nubra can start diving in for it too. Sylvanas gets banned. It's like a bit of a meme by now that teams misunderstood the name of the tournament. It's the Banshee Cup because of the Banshee Queen, but yeah, just ban her. Banshee, ban her, whatever. But yeah, it kind of feels a bit bad. Now, we've seen actually a lot of games with Sylvanas. She's such a powerful hero. That's the reason why she's getting banned out so many times. But yeah, Leo comes in. We're also getting Rega. Blackheart's favorite support. Rega. But yeah, we had Blackheart's Bay actually as one of the opening maps, and I think we're also going to get it in one of the later best of 5 matches as the starting map. So let's see if we're going to get that again. Now the final 2 picks for the red team, as Team Mascarade is of course aiming to put a point onto the board and turn this show around a little bit. So we get Deckard Cain and we get Hanzo. Alright. Honor. Redemption. Alright, shut up. Final pick, Außenseiter. Let's go. Towers of Doom, ladies and gentlemen. What's it gonna be? We need a little bit more damage. And it's Tracer. Außenseiter is gonna zip around with Tracer and aim for some of the squishies over here. Map number 2, Towers of Doom. Let's go. Game number 2, Team Ultralisk against Team Mascarade. On the left, we got X-Ray on Rega. Außenseiter on Tracer. We have Ultralisk on Sergeant Hammer. Meneldo is playing Leoric in game number 2. And Porky again at the front line this time with Johanna. So they shifted things around slightly, and X-Ray is now playing the support for them. Over on the right side of the map, we got Yasu on Anubarak. for Team Mascarade. Commander Rex with Chromie, Valar on Hanzo, Exilom on Deckard Kane, and Serdath is playing Dehaka. Quick reminder, we have 2 subs today for Team Mascarade. Mopsio and Mascarade are both not playing here. Serdath and Exilom are the ones that are subbing in for them. So Porky already down at the bottom of the map. Of course, when we're talking about their comp, a lot of this is really hinging on Protect the Hammer. Whereas Ultralisk has gone into the Advanced Artery on level 1. Fealty onto death for Leoric. Still one of my favorites. Like, honestly, a lot of the Diablo characters are just amazing. One of the reasons why for such a long time I was very nostalgic with Blizzard and had a bit of rose-tinted glasses on when it comes to that company is just because of all the amazing experience that I had as a kid. And Diablo 1 just comes to mind. I mean, I can still recite by heart a big part of Leoric's speech when you enter his tomb for the first time. And I freaked out hard the first time that the butcher started chasing me. Meat! Fresh meat! I can still remember it. The game has just came out, and my entire room was like mega dark, and I was like playing with a friend, and then like going into that crypt for the first time, and then entering that area, and then all of a sudden there's just like cleaver action happening, and the guy runs after me. And I was just like, oh my god! Good old days. Yeah, having Leo as a very viable character in this is actually pretty sweet. It's really cool. So, no kills so far. Chromie with deep breathing on level 1. And the Porky, it's quite a bit of tower damage here. Yeah. But they are already trying to siege. They're sieging up at the bottom of the map with a 4-man. Leave it up to Leoric, who goes between the lanes and start to take those waves down. In addition to that, we're now looking also at target practice on Hanzo. Man needs to practice a little bit more over here, as it seems. Yeah, the attacks continue. Ultralisk is taking some damage as well. Porky, this might be first blood. Okay, they were trying to Hanzo Johanna, but they couldn't. Valar, also a bit low. And a bit far to the front here, and nearly got punished for it. So Hanzo has to be careful as well. At the same time, now top side we have Khaldor and Serdath. Yeah, but nothing. I also heard, by the way, so BlizzCon apparently got cancelled. They decided to not have one this year. Is BlizzCon still a thing? Are people still going? Like, my first question would be why? Aren't people getting tired of being made fun of the entire time and talking to completely out of touch devs and teams? Don't you have phones? My favorite moment is the red shirt guy asking like, is this an April Fool's joke? Are you people serious? So yeah, I don't think that things have gotten any better since then, so people are actually still going for this. My favorite part was that they actually increased prices. They reduced the content and basically killed all of the games off. And then they were like, you know what? We should make these tickets more expensive. That's a good decision. So, yeah. Okay, so we got 36 to 36 points. Easy exchange between the top altars. Now at the bottom, the channel from Yasuo. It's always the third one that gets fought over the most. And they're starting to attack here immediately. Yeah, they got Porky in a bind. And Porky goes down. Johanna gets killed first. Jojo, pretty tanky usually, but in this case she gets eliminated, and that should allow the channel by the red team. There it is. And 4 more shots get fired. Bam! Straight to the face. A little bit more altar damage by them. On top of that, we're now having Sergeant Hammer with level 7. Finally with that mobility that we were waiting for the entire time. So, good stuff. In addition, we get Conviction, so a little bit more of utility here. And look at the red team! Yeah, they're trying to be a bit aggressive. They stole it! Beautiful timing by Yasuo. That was perfect. Frame perfect timing by him. Steals the camp, and just as the camp is taken, he dives back out and survives. Nicely done. Not too bad. So, over in the middle, we have Khaldor going up against Serdath here. Down to the bottom of the map. Again, the middle and the top is basically the same thing. It's like the solo laners just rotating over here. So, of course, in an ideal world, somebody would try and get a kill. The Haka has gotten Leo pretty low, so he has an advantage for sure in the rotational game. But we still have that 4 versus 4 that is playing out here, and yeah, we'll see. The 4 versus 4 at the bottom of the map is all hinging on Sergeant Hammer and how much damage Ultralisk can now do, how much pressure they can apply. now that he has mobility. And of course, on top of that, we still have Tracer here. So Tracer is a big part of this. She's still in a position where she can very, very easily then start to jump in and see if she can connect with Hanzo, get a kill in there. That's always going to be the goal for them. Take Hanzo out as quickly as you possibly can and make a move on us. 32 to 36 points by now. Yeah. And the double ult at the top. Now the second wave, the second objective is usually just a straight up trade. Blue team gets the one on the left, red team gets the one on the right. Very rarely do you see the team that actually goes and tries to invade. You have to have a fantastic early game. Possibly already got the lead in experience and maybe in talents as well in order to seriously attack that spot. But as is, the teams are just waiting for level 10, hoping to get some kills. And Yasuo, I think he's on cooldown on the dive. And yep, he is. And that means it's the end of him. But there's also two heroes that get taken out on the blue team. Oh, narrowly missing the target. Sergeant Hammer got killed as well, but that arrow went nowhere. So you gotta be careful. Duck if you're in Florida, because this thing is passing by in just a moment. But really nice double kill. They chased for Nubarak. They were really trying to get him here, and they got him. And then a second later, it's just a disaster for the blue team as they lose way too many heroes. Level 10 abilities were starting to kick in. Rhaegar has, by the way, gone for Bloodlust, so they're going to try and Bloodlust Sergeant Hammer up and allow for all the damage here. But yeah, nice one. That arrow flying far and deep. By now we also have camps claimed again. I could have actually seen them go for the opponent's camp, but death timers are, of course, still low. Yeah. Ooh, voila. Also pausing the game here. This is honestly one of the better pauses that we've seen so far. We had some pretty spectacular ones. The Haka is just tunneling in over here and is trying to say hello, so I'm not quite sure if he fully botted up. But we have 5 kills to 1 now, thanks to that last encounter between the two teams. And if you're just looking at the damage output, 23,000 for Chromie, I mean, she is really running away with the numbers here. Sergeant Hammer is, of course, supposed to chase that down soon. So Ultralisk, currently sitting at 15,000, is soon going to try and come in and match that. Leoric still rotating between the lanes. And he's the only one on the blue team that hasn't died yet. Porkio and Johanna has already been eliminated twice. And to give you an idea also about the experience distribution that we have seen thus far. And hero experience, this is really where we have a big lead for Team Mascarade. Minion experience, I want to say it's pretty similar, but the blue team has just done a bit better. And a lot of this is also hinging on Leoric as he's just rotating between the lanes. The Haka will pick some of that up again as he's starting to move over. Saseta is moving towards the top. But now we're also going to see a bit of a difference in mercenary experience slowly being established here. If the red team is able to dive in a bit more, take the opponent's camp away, that lead would be extended, of course. But as is, nice small advantage for Team Mascarade. I mean, it's pretty important for them to win this map. You don't want to fall behind with an 0-2. If that happens, going for a reverse, which is always just such a tall order, winning 3 in a row is not impossible. I mean, we've seen it, but it's always tough. This is a comeback map, though. Always has been the big comeback map. Late game is more important than anything here. And oh, Sadath, Yasuo all sitting tight here. Außenseiter is still trying to dive in and get some damage connected. Comes in again. Misses. How do you miss that bomb? Fat fingered that. Big ult from Hanzo. Ah, they get the counter kill. But Außenseiter comes in and punishes Hanzo for dropping the arrow here. Quick lick by the Haka. Nice. It's still a 4 versus 3. They're trying to chase to get another one. They're hoping to take... Ah! Nice little attempt here by X-Ray to also chip in some damage, but they weren't enough to drop the Haka. They are in a position where it's pretty easy now, though, to get that third Alder. So at least they get that. Alder's about to be claimed. Another 3 shots fired. That puts them on an even score again. 28 to 28 now on the core. And level 13 talents are starting to kick in quickly. Yeah, and Rhaegar again doing some work here. Decided not to go Ancestral, and Bloodlust came in handy in the last fight, especially, of course, for Sergeant Hammer. By now we also have the level 13 talents. Oh, untouchable! Somebody is feeling a little bit cocky over here. Okay, so let's see if Tracer's getting touched here or not. Already eating some of the damage. Wants to come in. And can they kill Chromie? Nah, but Außenseiter is just moving in and starting to poke away. Vega's also getting poked. Finds himself in some trouble. Oh, and gets murdered by Hanzo. And Ultralisk is also gone. So that's a double kill against the blue team. Might even lose a third here, and yep, they do. So Leoric is out of the picture. 9 kills to 3, and Team Mascarade is picking up some momentum here. Good for them. Not just a little bit of momentum. I mean, they are really starting to whack away on this. Job well done. So now we got... This is what I talked about earlier, by the way. If they can get to these positions and start invading a few of the camps, then they can also extend the lead right there with experience. They're by now a level ahead. So it's a pretty nice position for them to be in, honestly. They are still applying continuous pressure. They just need to make sure that they're also translating that experience lead into a talent advantage. And then ideally, of course, into some actual damage and a push that they could possibly execute here. So if all of that is possible for them, then yeah, they got some really nice outlook on the rest of the game. Get that level 16, siege up, try and get a bell tower converted over, not at least take the objective. They're giving up one of the altars at the bottom of the map now already though. So yeah, that's a bit on the awkward side. Again, they are kind of in the lead, but they let this one go for free. Leo was trying to channel the second one, which hasn't quite happened. So there's definitely a few things where they have to step it up if they want to have an impact here. So level 16, very, very close. They should at least try to interrupt until then, so that they get one of the altars. The Haka isn't here yet. He was trying to get the XP for the team to get the next level, but it's not there yet. Yeah, Bloodlust for Rhaegar, and a Nubarak is dead. But what about the counter kills? So far they've always gotten some. This time Außenseiter and Jojo both walk away from this. Another attack, and Menel'dor gets crushed. Außenseiter is also a bit low, nearly gets Hanzoed here by Valar. It's a 4 versus 4 for now. Porky retreating, level 16 talents are ready. That gives the advantage to the red team, of course. But the blue team is always willing to dive back in and do some damage. Tracer now with one untouchable stack that she's trying to use here. So going for the additional damage. They also want level 16, which is, of course, the next thing. But yeah, that 5% damage increase is going to be noticeable a bit, but they're hoping for more. And again, turnaround, trying to make a play, recall for Tracer, and they are giving X-Ray the time and space to channel another altar, and another 4 shots get fired. So despite the advantages that Team Mascarade had here, they lost both of the altars. So, that is pretty bad. I mean, it's a bit weird to me. Look at the situation. We have 10 kills to 4. We had a 16 advantage. And despite the superior numbers in kills and XP and talent, they were not able to get a single one of these altars. So when it comes to objective control, Team Ultralisk is just doing better. Now, Sergeant Hammer with more and more damage, but Rhaegar gets caught by Chromie and killed. Chromie on 4, Blessed Shield missing there. 55, 56,000 damage, 4. Yeah, Tracer got touched. Tracer got touched and lost the stack, so both of the damage healers are now gone. They're taking Jojo. They're winning all of the fights that don't matter. I mean, obviously they matter, but for some reason, when an objective's on the map, they're losing the battle. So now it's another 4 heroes that they've lost. I mean, at this point, it really has to have an impact, right? They're taking the camps away. They can try and go for a bell tower conversion. If that doesn't give them finally some momentum, then nothing ever will. Jojo died 4 times. All of these team fights, when there's no objective on the map, are like easily won by Team Mascarade. So it's quite perplexing. But okay, anyways, by now we have a chance to turn this fully around. Obviously there's 3 altars now on the map, so you just win 2 out of the 3. Maybe all 3 of them, you get a bell tower conversion. If you build up the momentum right now, Team Mascarade can just flip this entire thing in a second. Pumpkins are already connecting here. The bell tower is low but hasn't been taken out yet. Leo is towards the top. BFG to interrupt the channel from Commander Rex as the blue team is moving in. For them, it's super important that they're winning this. Tracer is, by the way, sitting at the top dealing with the Haka. And down here, they're losing Rhaegar again. So yeah, Tracer and Leo can go to the top and maybe force the Haka back and get another channel. But down here, they're losing again half the team. Sergeant Hammer trying to get out. And yep, no chance. Jojo gets killed, gets caught by Hanzo. Sergeant Hammer is gone. Top side, yep, they're going once again for Serdath, but help is already on the way. Level 20, it's a 2.5 level lead now. I think at this point it's pretty clear that Team Ultralisk has just lost control. 16 to 28 points on the core. So a big lead in core points, but another 5 shots now that the bottom bell tower has been converted. And this is really where the team can start to catch up. Yep, 10 shots in total fired, and bam, the gap is nearly closed. 18 to 16, and more importantly, the level 20 talent, and of course with all the momentum that they have, easy. Go for the bell towers, convert them over, and just do your job here. So great play from Team Mascarade. It took them a while to really get some value out of the situation that they created and out of the advantages that they built up for themselves. But now we're finally here, and they are starting to play Team Ultralisk to the wall. So for the blue team, they are really being choked out here. I mean, this is nearly checkmate here. You have to go up against level 20 now, and they're not going to be comfortable with that. It's 6 bell towers to 2, so every single altar, it's 3 altars, and it's over. There's also a boss, of course, still up on the map. Maybe they can reclaim something, and they're trying in the middle. 5 deaths on Jojo, 4 on Rhaegar, and also Sergeant Hammer. So Ultralisk hasn't really survived through a whole lot here either. They can bridge the experience gap, maybe with Ultra Capacitors, maybe with Rhaegar upgrading his ult, but honestly, so far, the team fights haven't really gone well for them. Which the kill count clearly indicates. 18 to 5. It's kind of crazy. But again, with that, we're now having 18 to 5 kills, 21 to 18 on the level count, single altar at the bottom of the map. At least they're reclaiming one of the bell towers. So they're able to jump in, take this one out. But there's no doubt who is going to get this altar at the bottom of the map. It would be a bit of a miracle if the blue team would be able to move in and all of a sudden claim this one. This should be a freebie for the red team. And yeah, then it's going to be big. Because this is going to put them down to 13 points. Always assuming, of course, that they can hold this bell tower long enough. But Chromie is already channeling it up. Pumpkins are making it over. Team Ultralisk just wants 20. The shots are being fired. They knew this would happen. This wasn't avoidable, so they are now behind. But once that they have level 20, which is now the case, they can technically try and fight this back. This is now eye-level play. And just a few team fights, and all of a sudden, you are the ones with the lead. So this game is not over. House of Doom is a comeback map for a reason. But the question is just simply, can those level 20 upgrades really help them? Well, it doesn't help Tracer too much. Tracer gets murdered. Going for Untouchable might have been a bit of a mistake. But it's also Nubarak that gets killed as a counter. So there's at least that. Jojo has gone, by the way, into Blinded by the Lights. A little bit more survivability here for them. Whereas Gladiator's Washout was the choice for Rhaegar. And Sergeant Hammer, as usual, Ultra Capacitors for him. But they're trading kills now. So kills are being traded. Ultralisk has to be careful. Has to gobble up a couple. It would be nice if he could gobble up a couple of potions here. Needs those heals from Rhaegar instead. And yep, now the little play right there for the bottom bell tower. Once they have it, it's again even. Dead even, at least on bell towers. And Ultralisk is getting solid value now. So we have 71,000 damage for Sergeant Hammer. Chromie is sitting at 76,000. Hanzo, by the way, is just behind Chromie. 75k. Tracer only 37,000 damage. Nothing to write home about. Yep. That's not going to be coming up in the next at the next Blitzkrieg meeting. So yeah, our daughter has gotten a lot of damage on Towers of Doom. Nope, not really. So yeah, Mommy and Daddy won't be proud here. But they're trying for the bell tower. Single bell tower right now. So all eyes in the middle, and Sergeant Hammer is already starting to zone this out slowly. So at this point, they're trying to take control here of the choke point, of course. Have to be a bit careful with Hanzo's arrow in particular. Yasuo's jumping in. Blessed shield. Arrow. Sergeant Hammer dodged it out with siege tactics. They're trying to get the damage. Rhaegar still fine. BFG. And nice ult from Leo. Might have to sacrifice his life for it, but it doesn't do enough because the follow-up wasn't there. Tracer dies again. That's the 4th time that she goes down. Deckard Cain and Dehaka get crushed. Deckard Cain and Dehaka both down. They're chasing, they're killing a Nubarak again, and they want to go for Hanzo too. They got to retreat, but the shots are fired. Only 3, by the way, since Dehaka took the top. But they get the altar, and they also get the momentum. That was big that they're getting the kills here. Oh, Chromie! Chromie is completely alone and gets killed. Nice! Beautiful play from Porky here. He came in, flanked in on it, and then takes Chromie out. And now they can take the bell towers here. We have 11 points on the core against 13, and with only Hanzo surviving, now it's time for Team Ultralisk to get momentum, and they're building up as much as they can. Menaldor is up at the top side, trying to reclaim the bell tower that they lost earlier. They've already taken another pumpkin camp that they can now attempt to escort through. Nobody's making a play for the boss, by the way. But we have now 10 kills to 20. We had 30 kills. 30 kills in this game, and I think the pumpkins will connect. The Haga could try and move in here, but I do not think that they have the time to make anything happen. No. One shot is through. Yeah, and there it is. 3 more shots against the core. 11 to 10. It's getting close. It's getting very, very close. Nice. Beautiful dodge, by the way, with his level 4 from Ultralisk once that we had the thing come through. Hanzo's arrow. So they're actually going for the boss at the top, which is a pretty smart play here. The team in blue doesn't make the rotation. They're trying to escort some more pumpkins through, which they will be able to pull off. But removing that as a tool is kind of nice. So Team Mascarade is able to get 4 points. Leo is now taking back the top bell tower, which means they're going to have an advantage. Pumpkins are about to be escorted through. There's 3 more shots that are going to be fired, unless the Nubarak dives in time. And he does! Bit of a misstep from Team Ultralisk. That was possible. But the channel is there. That's 5 shots, and then it's going to be 7 to 5. Yep. Shots are being fired. This could have been better for them. Imagine the pumpkins making it through here. Then again, as long as they keep the bell tower control, 1 single altar channel is all that they need from here on out. 1 single altar and Bob's your uncle. Tracer with 0 stats on Untouchable, by the way. Yeah, Außenseiter was way too confident on that pick. 90,000 damage for Sergeant Hammer. 5 deaths on a Nubarak. I don't really envy him here. He has to dive in. Yaz is the one that always makes the engage happen, and so many times they were immediately trying to turn it against him. It's always a question of if the counter kill happens or not. And at the beginning it definitely has. The Haka, by the way, reclaims the top. Nice for Serda. So now it's 4-4, which means Team Mascarade can at this point survive 1 altar channel. And they are also, from the looks of it, about to retake that bottom bell tower. Oh, Blessed Shield missing. Yeah, Porky playing cross server, and that Blessed Shield went nowhere. So now they retreat and they give up the bell tower. Which means 5 versus 3 bell towers in favor of Team Mascarade. It doesn't really change the equation too much. Changes things slightly, but of course the rule still stands. Each team gets now 1 altar, and then they're both still in play. But then a boss, a couple of pumpkins can retake this. Seems like they're trying to take this back before the channel can even happen, and honestly I think they have enough time for it. So then it would be 4 shots fired by each team, putting them down to 3 and 1 point respectively. Which very quickly shows you, if they would have just escorted those pumpkins through a little bit more diligently before Nubarak dove in, they would have had a situation here where they could win the game. 4 shots are being fired. Same is happening now up at the top. So 3 points on the core against a single point that's left right here. So yeah, nicely done. All right. 1 team fight can decide the entire game now. This is how we like it. This is what it comes down to. And they're trying to go for the cap. BFG after Leo's ult. They go for the backline. Bala is low. And bye-bye Hanzo. Hanzo is dead. They want to go for Chromie. Deckard Payne with the ult. But Leo comes in again. Try to slow them down here. Außenseiter is zipping through. They're stunning out a Nubarak. And they take him down. 3 points to 1 on the core. And boy, this was a disaster now for Team Mascarade. This is bad news, to say the least. They're going for the bell tower. Boss, by the way, is still not there for another minute and 47 seconds. And now they're just having... 1 pumpkin. 1 pumpkin is all you need. And this is likely going to happen. Yep, there it is. That is game. A 2-1 lead for Team Ultralisk as they turn the game around and win Towers of Doom. GG. Tomb of the Spider Queen. Let's go. Game number 3. So, one thing that I want to explain real quickly is that obviously with the group stage system, if you haven't watched Group A, we're playing a typical GSL style. A plays versus B, C plays versus D, then we have the losers match, we have the winners match, and then the consolidation or the elimination match, whatever you want to call it. So if you win 2 matches, you make it out of the group. If you lose 2 matches, you're out. That's essentially what it is. So we'll see if Team Mascarade is now dropping down into the first elimination match of Group B, or if they can go for a full reverse sweep. They were close. They were really close on the last map to win it, and it was just really the ultra late game where the blue team was able to turn it around, gain the momentum, and then finally get a few more kills for themselves and win the game. But it was clutch. So Masquerade's team is definitely stepping it up here. Masquerade's team without Masquerade. But at the same time, yeah, they are still. They have to face off against 3 match points right now, and that's obviously anything but easy. So Vala gets banned again. If I'm Commander Rex at this point, I'm either annoyed or I am very pleased with myself. Annoyed that I can't play my Vala, and very pleased because by now everybody acknowledges that his Vala is insane. So everybody is just like, yeah, we're just not going to deal with that. This is, by the way, also the moment, if at any point we're going to get bounty attempts by Team Ultralisk, it's going to be now. Now, quick reminder, Team Ultralisk has actually 3 bounties already. So they have the most bounties out of any team. They could extend that. They could now, with a 2-0 lead on Tomb of the Spider Queen, say, you know what, boys? We're going to add another one. We're going to aim for bounty number 4. If we lose a map, it's fine. We can take that risk. We can use that handicap. So, let's see. Mephisto and Mal'Ganis are both being picked here. I mean, Mephisto, obviously, fantastic damage dealer in the first place. There's Alexstrasza and Urel. Unfortunately, they banned Stitches. This is probably one of my favorite bounties that we had, and we had multiple attempts, the Stitches and Alexstrasza one. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking about what kind of bounty they could play, and I immediately jumped to like a triple heal when I saw Alexstrasza. My first thought was like, do they play the Stitches one? But again, they already have Stitches banned. Triple heal is also not possible if you're going for Diablo and for Urel here. So I'm starting to get the feeling that they might not go for a bounty after all, which is a bit of a shame, honestly, if you ask me. Because with the 2-0 lead, that would be the move, in my opinion. Now, final ban for game number 3. What are they getting rid of here? Talking about getting rid of things, keep in mind this is now game 3, so 20 heroes are unavailable. The 20 heroes that were played already. This is still the only draft rule that we have. This isn't Meta Madness. There's no pre-bans. We're not trying to force the teams into anything. Even the bounties are fully optional. That was always the idea behind this. But now we're getting the quick double pick over here on the right side for the red team, as Team Masquerade is trying to at least put 1 point onto the board. Sylvanas is open, so she gets picked. Great pick, of course, for Tomb of the Spider Queen. And together with Sylvanas, we get Malthael. A lot of death over here. Mephisto, Malthael, Dreadlord, then you have the Banshee Queen. I mean, damn. Team Evil! So, bounty or no bounty? That's the question. And if they're going for a bounty attempt, what's it going to be? Because there's not really a whole lot left that would vibe with their combo that would work as a bounty. Are they trying it? Yes or no? Cassia and Asmodan. Alright, here we go. I love it. Asmodan on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Oh, this is such a throwback. I absolutely enjoy this. Okay, so we're going to get Asmodan as another bounty attempt by Team Ultralisk. They want to have a 4th one. And this is the map where Asmodan was always shining. This and Blackheart's Bay were the 2 maps where Asmodan together with Jojo was doing the most. So let's see how Ultralisk is going to play it here, assuming that he stays with the hero. Auriel is the final pick for the heals. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are heading into game number 3. 2-0 advantage for Team Ultralisk as we are heading into game number 3. The first match point for the blue team. Over on the left side, Meldor with Urel. We have Außenseiter on Alexstrasza. After his Tracer performance, he got pushed onto the support instead, apparently. So yeah, yellow card for Außenseiter. X-Ray and Diablo. Ultralisk is indeed playing Asmodan, going into Gluttony as his level 1 talent choice. And we got Porky on Cassia. So still a couple of role swaps in here. Another bounty attempt by Team Ultralisk. They want to complete a 4th bounty. Yazu for Team Mascarade is playing Mal'Ganis. We got Sadath on Malthael, Exilom on Oriel, Commander Rex on Mephisto, and Valar on Sylvanas. This is one of the OG maps for Asmodan. The reason is obvious. Again, you want to stack. You want to get as many minion stacks, as many stacks for your globe as possible. And since the lanes are so close together, you have a lot of lanes where you can start to do exactly that. Now, you want to have some heroes that help you out, or you rather try it and gets punished for troubles. So, if you're alone, I'm still going to go through my Asmodan spiel here. If you can attack heroes, then obviously that's quite nice too. If you're alone on the map as Asmodan, what you're trying to do is you're auto-attacking the backline minions, these. This is what you're auto-attacking. Your frontline minions will drop the frontline minions of the opponent's team low, and then at some point everybody is so low that you can take them out with an orb and you're getting full stacks. If you can do it with somebody else, you just want to use that globe late, just so late that somebody else can come in, dish out the damage and limit them. Not the way that Ultralisk just did it. That's definitely an F right there. That's a yellow card. So you want to hold it back a little bit. You want to start getting everything low. Then you get the globe in. And you don't have to get the killing shot with Asmodan. You just have to make sure that the minions die shortly after. Anybody can take them out. And as long as you help Asmodan stack in the early stages, he can then do those lanes very easily by himself and stack it up in absolutely no time. So another attempt here. Gets a shot in down at the bottom of the map. Very little value in this case, but yeah. In an ideal world, you have another AoE damage dealer with Asmodan. Leori comes to mind. Johanna is, of course, pretty fantastic. So this is the way that you would normally try and stack this. The red team is playing quite well against it right now. They're not giving them too much time on those minion waves, so it's all a battle about who has control here. And as you can see, Ultralisk is not getting too much done with this. They also don't have a proper hero that can help Asmodan out with it as we speak. But yeah, as time continues, he's going to try and get some hits in against heroes at least, slowly build the stack numbers up so that he can get proper value out of all of this. But as I already explained, it is, or it can be, a little bit tricky just in general if your opponent is paying attention and is trying to make your life hard. But he's sitting at 42 now. It's nothing crazy, but again, as he starts to build this up, he can do a bit more. It seems like right now the idea is also to more so try and hit some heroes and actual minions. He's trying to push this back, so it's not just fully focused on stacking. One of the main reasons probably that they don't have another hero that can help him out here, so it's pretty tricky. So he's only getting some isolated stacks every now and then and tries to hit the opponent's heroes to get a few more. But as his stacks get up, he will be able to do a bit more out of this. So Ultralisk is just trying to win. Now, with that, we have still the attacks coming, but it's all about the late game for them. They have two heroes that stack nicely towards the late game with Cassia's level 1 quest and also with Asmodan in general, so the hits, they keep coming. We have one single kill in favor of the red team, at least for now. And they are playing heavily with the damage that they're getting from Mephisto. Sylvanas is, of course, a huge game changer once that you gain momentum in the game itself and you can start taking down some of the structures. And, of course, ideally, also move into, for example, quickly take on either the objective of the opponent or use your own objective and start taking out some of the structures with the help of the web weavers. And just totally crush this. So yeah, definitely a couple of things that they can do as the game continues if they are building up the momentum. And it's already playing out at the bottom of the map at least a little bit. They are able to take some structures out here. Gate and tower have been destroyed. We see finally a rotation for a little bit on help on all of this. But yeah, we'll see how as things continue how much they are going to be able to do. Asmodan, again, he keeps stacking. The good old days were where Asmodan, everybody knew that Asmodan would just rip you a new one in the late game. So teams that were going up against an Asmodan composition had to win the game early and were just getting super aggressive. Now this is obviously a long, long time ago and things have changed very significantly since then. But yeah, good old times. It was a very nice dynamic change whenever that happened within the draft. But for now, we have level 7 on both sides. The turn-ins are, of course, slowly starting up. Gems are there. Haven't seen a lot of kills, which means that most teams still hold a huge number of gems for now. So the attack in the middle is happening as we speak. And we have 21 turned into 23, but Cassia gets caught and killed, and quite a few of the gems are lost. Now they're aiming for a counter kill, but X-Ray with the 20 gems that he has is also in trouble. Gets nearly taken out here. So nearly a follow-up kill from them. Asmodan now on 165 stacks, so he is doing better. He's starting to get some numbers in. But it doesn't change the fact that they lost the position that they were holding here in the middle, and that's a turn-in opportunity for the red team. And you don't have to ask them twice. So they get the first set of web weavers. They can now try and utilize Sylvanas together with this push, which is definitely something that they're going to do. Red web weavers are going to be descending, and they might be able to get some more walls. I mean, who knows? Maybe if they're getting another kill, they can even go for a 4. They have a half-level lead, a bit more than that actually. So propel that forward to level 10, and you can go for a double turn-in at least potentially. We'll see if they can do that. Asmodan is of course going to use these opportunities to push this back even further. Außenseiter with the Dragon Queen over here. Yeah, top side, that's where Asmodan is going to try and make his thing against Sylvanas. Yeah, alright. He's able to pull that off. Good for him. Defended that quite nicely. So Sylvanas hasn't gotten too much. Right now the first quest is nearly done. Level 1 quest for Asmodan. So yeah, he's definitely getting there. But we need a bit more here, honestly. I mean, level 10 is now kicked in, and this is where things are getting a bit tricky, because there's 51 gems in the hands of the red team, which means they only need 4 more for potential double turn-in, which you kind of want to avoid. So, can they avoid this? Yes, no? Time will tell. For now, it seems like they just might be able to, because that gap in experience gets closed quickly, and they're going to lock in their own level 10s. Sylvanas has gone into mind control, by the way. So they have a few more CC tools that they can now use in the big fights, which they're going to be aiming for. Full stacks for Diablo is fully on full souls right now. And they're trying to finally turn in for themselves too. So yeah, working on that. As the blue team tries to get their first turn in, the red team is now very eager to go for number 2 already. Asmodan still stacking the baseline, sitting at above 200 stacks now and went into Black Pool, so that helps him to last rights. And X-Ray gets killed. And Menador, nice, picks up the gems. That was big. They lose the turn-in, which honestly sucks for them. I mean, it really does. But at least they were able to get those gems back. And honestly, that is pretty big. Being able to get those gems again is huge. It's always a ticket back into the game. So if you lose out on them, then you're just going to be in trouble. Sylvanas gets also killed down at the bottom of the map as they're still playing it out here in the middle. We have Maltael also going for another camp. And the blue team is now trying to... Their first kill, by the way. First kill for the blue team here. But then they're also trying to make their play through the middle as they're pushing in, not only with Asmodan, but also with the camp that just took a second earlier. Now, of course, there is some counter play being executed by the opponent's team as well, as they're using their own camp, claimed by Maltael. Urel still sitting down at the bottom of the map, and she makes her play there. Wall is at least destroyed. They can't go for another kill. Blue team has also turned in, so that means that they're going to get the first set of web weavers for them now as well. This might just be enough to help them to get some damage done. Not a single fort has been eliminated in this game yet, but this could be the first one. Asmodan nearly on 300 stacks by now. Again, still working on that baseline as best as he can, and as they're pushing into the middle, he has a few more opportunities. Just trying to hit heroes with his Orb of Annihilation. They're working towards level 13. Still a bit of a lead for the red team on the other hand. But I gotta say that Team Ultralisk is starting to gain a bit of momentum here. 30 gems, careful. Mal'Ganis in trouble, is able to get out, but has to be mega careful here or he's going to get destroyed as well. Top side fort and bottom side fort have now both taken already some damage. So yeah, it's getting a bit tricky for them. Talking about tricky, that fort is gone. So yeah, as kind of called. Another big hit coming in, and Asmodan is really starting to bring the pain here. His numbers are increasing, and it is noticeable. So Mal'Ganis falls, so does Diablo. The gems are getting picked up again. I love how both of the teams are super diligent about this and are picking up those gems whenever they can. So yes, nicely done. Taking a look at damage, we have Asmodan now at 31,000. He's top damage for the blue team, just behind, or just ahead of Cassia. Basically, they have the same damage here. But yeah, Mephisto is still top damage in the game with the 42,000 that he's currently running. So he's still holding the top numbers here. Another turn-in attempt here by Menador, and he completes it. So now we have Team Ultralisk with 2 in a row. Now I gotta say, this actually flipped a little bit. The entire time, it seemed like the red team might just be walking away with a big lead as they were looking at more and more turn-ins. But currently, it is indeed the blue team that is starting to pick up that momentum. The early game might not have gone 100% their way, but now they are starting to have more of a presence on the map. Mind control, on the other hand, against Diablo. He's not stacked yet, so he has to be careful. Aegis used by Auriel. And Webweaver at the top is already making some moves towards the keep itself, as we're having at the same time the fort in the middle attack. Martel is dealing with the bot lane, and oh, middle door! Urel is dead. Urel gets deaded, she's eliminated, she's out. They're also taking Cassia apart. Asmodan 8 stacks away from completing this. Last rights, and it's not enough to take down X-Ray. So X-Ray is still alive. He made it at least. Good for him. And down at the bot lane, that fort mega low. Sylvanas has in the meantime dealt with the top lane, but even there we have some damage against the wall. There's a pretty nice back and forth. Still the superior kill numbers in the hands of the red team, which also gives them a lead in experience that will very quickly give them a talent advantage. And now they have their second turn-in. So with that turn-in, a chance to take some forts out. Stacking is completed for Asmodan, by the way. So yep, he's doing some real work now. And we have also Cassia with 66 stacks, which honestly is not too bad. That's pretty decent, actually. 66 stacks, 11, 12 minutes into the game. Those are some sexy numbers that she's currently pushing through. So we might actually see that spiral out of control as the late game approaches. That's another one that could definitely make the difference here. So those are those scaling heroes that can really, really help you as things continue. But 16 is on the board. That's the talent advantage that we've been talking about. Außenseiter with the Dragon Queen transformation has to be careful here too. Asmodan is dealing with the top. That fort at least is still safe, but at the bottom of the map they lost one. So bot lane fort destroyed. In the middle they're still holding it. Valkyrie misses. Blue team is trying. I mean, they're trying to get to level 16. They need to bridge this. Need to bridge that gap as quickly as they can. Good healing for X-Ray. Yeah, again. Quick whip into the structure. And Urel is dealing at the bottom of the map with not only Siege Giants, but also the remaining Web Weavers. 89 gems still in the hand. Oh, nice damage against Morganis here. So yeah, Asmodan is really starting to hurt. Has now gone on level 16 into Trample, which gives him, of course, also a bit more mobility that he can use in the upcoming fights and situations. But the party continues here in the middle. We have a lot of gems for the red team. They are still holding a lot of gems that they can use in these fights. X-Ray! Oh, he survives! He gets the heal and makes it! They killed Sylvanas. Medeldor is retreating. And Yasuo was looking to get that kill against Diablo, but instead he only finds sweet death. Now they go for Auriel. The self-Aegis is not going to save her in the long run. Unbelievable. Team Ultralisk pulling through here. Or are they? Because X-Ray is again low, but the heals are coming. Valkyrie misses. Exilom survives somehow. And Ultralisk, he dies. Damn, son. Work is being done over here. 85 stacks. Diablo also down. They actually turned it. Diablo lost the stacks now. He lost the soul stacks. By the way, a bit of a problem up here. Catapult is already pushing in, so we should definitely keep a bit of an eye on that. Ah, Mephisto losing the ult. 51,000 damage now for Asmodan and for Cassia. But Cassia has taken over top damage for the blue team. She has nice stacks. Really good stacks here. Now on top of that, we have the mercenary camp over on the right now about to be taken. So the red team has brought back a little bit of momentum, as we've been talking about this earlier. So yeah, some work that they can at least do here in order to get the upper hand. I've been talking about how many gems that they're holding, and they're now putting it to them to use. At least they're trying to. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty big one for them if they can. Another Web Weaver wave would go a long way here for Team Mascarade. And again, reminder, final map for them if they lose. If they lose this map, they are in the losers match. This series would be over. So they're fighting tooth and nail to make this happen. But Team Ultralisk also has technically enough gems for a tournament. It is the red team that delivers first, but if they're not dying, then they can still do that later. By now we have the Reservoir of Hope over here with 9 stacks currently. Diablo is stacking up on his souls, and on top of that we still have Ultralisk back to business, and Asmodan Okay, I mean, that's a meme. What the hell? Where are the hit points, Blizzard? Where are the hit points? So, yeah. That hit point bar is lying to us. Absolutely lying to us. 100 stacks for Cassia, by the way. Porky is crushing it. Porky is absolutely crushing it here. I mean, honestly, numbers are interesting, to say the least. 91,000 by Mephisto by now. I mean, we can talk all day about the stacks on Cassia, the damage from Asmodan, but look at Mephisto. He doesn't care. The man doesn't give a shit. He just sits there and he's like, yeah, so what of it? I'm gonna just take him all out. The good thing about Asmodan, on the other hand, is that he doesn't have only good hero numbers. He has also 150,000 now on siege damage, which is pretty respectable. He's gonna try and get another hit in. Ultralisk, where is that orb when you need it? There's the heal, he has the range, and just nibbles away here. Ah, nice Vegas, just as the Valkyrie came out. He keeps poking. He keeps poking and doing his work, using the wave clear, of course, as well. Cassia the same. That long distance poke is very, very annoying right now for Team Mascarade. And here comes the turn-in opportunity that they've been working on. Außenside has delivered. They still have 60 gems that they are holding, but they only need 30 in order to get their turn-in. It will be the third one for them. Level 20 talents are in. That gives us the diamond resolve. And here's the turn-in. Nice. We're able to pull it off before level 20, but the snipe attempt on Diablo. There's Asmodan with the big damage. There it is. Oh, and it chunks down Oriel. That Orb of Annihilation definitely did work, but Diablo dies and the red team is alive. That's the difference here. Ultralisk again with the attempt to snipe Oriel, but doesn't connect. Alexstrasza is now down 2. Web Weavers are pushing, but with 2 heroes dead on the blue team, the red team can not only take this fort, but they can also easily defend here. So, yeah. By the way, also, this is going to be the end of Ultralisk. Yep. Gets body blocked and eliminated. So, 11 kills, 2-4, and now this is a bit of a worry for the blue team. And again, quick reminder, they're trying to complete a bounty. They played Asmodan because they're trying to complete a bounty. They didn't pick this because they thought, hey, this is the best hero in this situation. Nope, they gave themselves a handicap and said, we can still pull it off and complete a 4th bounty. They already have 3. This would be number 4. Now it seems like we might see a play for boss. Is that what they're going to do? Starting to move in for it. And now we're getting the Ritual of Life. We also have Hellstorm, Pride, and Imprisoning Light. And Pride is actually also quite interesting because that is big. This hurts. Oriel is already having some trouble with some of the long-range poke that we're getting, but this definitely hurts. So there's a chance that the next few fights are going to be very, very annoying for Oriel in particular, but for so many more of them. So keep an eye on that. But yeah, time will tell. I mean, there is obviously an advantage right now for the red team. There's absolutely no denying this. They have a turn-in, they got the boss. It's all about surviving this push. If the blue team can at least pull that off, then they have, I guess, a chance to bring the game back with well-coordinated team fights and good damage from Asmodan and Cassia. But they first have to stop this, and this is not going to be easy. So they're doing on... Oh, mind control! Außenseiter! The heal attempt! Yeah, no! The kill! Just before the heal comes through, Außenseiter is gone, and they might just lose the game here. That's a disaster. Oh, what an orb by Asmodan! Holy cow! The damage, baby! Insane numbers from him. 81,000 damage now. Did you see that connect with 3 heroes? He nearly got a triple kill out of it. Ridiculous. And, oh, it's so close. Porky comes in and delivers. Chases Malthael down. But damn, son, that was some damage. Ultralisk with that big triple connect. Wow. That might have just saved them the game here. 5-12. This is all late game. All late game. If we get this late into the game, Asmodan hurts. 200,000 siege damage nearly. 81,000 hero damage. Papa Mephisto has already reached the 6-digit club. He's sitting at 100,000, above 100,000 actually. But still, solid numbers here. Nearly enough gems for Team Ultralisk to also get another turn in. The attacks still keep coming here. Alright, another big hit from Asmodan. Not big enough though. Didn't use Black Pool here either, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah. But 138 stacks now for Cassia. The stacking numbers are getting a bit out of control. He might actually start to break Dino's record, which I believe was... I think the record on Cassia that we've seen in competitive play was at 160 or something along those lines. Good reaction from Oriel. Maybe not enough. Mind control. They put everything on Urel. And she survived. Menedor, big. Him surviving and popping the ult was huge. But Außenseiter is too late to save Cassia. They're losing one of their biggest damage dealers. And now they gotta retreat again. Diablo is dead as well. Oh boy. It's a wild one. It's an absolutely wild game here. Yeah, he takes the minion waves at least down. That makes it very difficult for the red team to push in. They have Sylvanas, of course, but still, it is a tricky one. And every single time that he makes the connect, they're doing work here. It's all about mind control for now. Mind control once again. Urel is ready for the team immediately, but Ultralisk gets hit and is gone. Both of the damage dealers eliminated. They're trying for a counter kill. Yasuo seems like he can survive here. And that's the end of Urel. Guys, I think this is all she wrote. Asmodan just sucks too hard. It's unfortunate. They went for the bounty and it just doesn't work for them. 97,000 for Asmodan. The keep at the top has already fallen earlier. Now they're destroying the one in the middle. Yeah, this is Team Mascarade marching towards the core, trying to end the game here. At least Cassia is back, but they're still playing a 3 versus 5, which is of course tricky. They have to try and survive here, but it's also Maltel who just picks up additional stacks. They're trying to go for a kill here. Serdav gets pushed back. 4 stacks, by the way, in Maltel. That's a 20-second cooldown reduction on his ult. And it's noticeable. It's really noticeable in these fights. There's so many high hit point heroes where you can drop it. X-Ray again gets the heal. Nice. Good wall stun. They're getting Asmodan back in 5 seconds. And Malthael is dead. Malthael is gone. He is dead. Can apparently not buy back. Another hit from Asmodan that doesn't connect, but the core is at 10%. And, well, that is all she wrote. Despite the best efforts, Team Ultralisk loses game number 3. GG. Garden of Terror! Okay, so we're going to game number 4 after all. Asmodan, unfortunately, a little bit too, yeah, not quite there. Honestly, he had quite the impact, but I don't want to sugarcoat this. We have to pay these people, or at least incentivize them with money so that they play these heroes. So even though Asmodan got to the late game and did some work here, Team Mascarade is finally able to put a point onto the scoreboard. So we're going to game number 4, which means that 30 heroes are now unavailable. So the 30 heroes that you've already seen, they cannot be played again. Obviously, the question is Team Ultralisk still willing to potentially go for a bounty here? There are still options. We're going into Garden of Terror right now, so we'll see. But I think that if they want to play it safe, then at this point they want to say, alright guys, whatever, we tried it, didn't work out. Let's just make sure we're winning the series and move on to the winner's match so that there can't be anything crazy happening. Because again, Team Mascarade, they are aiming for the reverse sweep here. And it's also a bit sad for them because Towers of Doom, I think they have a chance there. They were looking good. They were looking really good. I mean, they looked like they had the game in the bag, but it's Towers of Doom, so you can never count a team out there. Still the Commissar Rex respect ban. Commander Rex, sorry. So, yeah, we have too many Rexes here. I'm actually quite pleased also with the Captain's Draft in general. I think we've seen quite a few players that normally don't make it into these tournaments that have now played, that might be picked up for future teams as well in a normal team tournament. So pretty happy with that. Porky with Brightwing now, as we're heading into a big map. One of the biggest, of course, in the pool. And a lot of mercenary camps. I mean, yep, you definitely want to have some stuff here. Also, Abathar being banned. I always love the idea of like Abathar with Illidan. If one of the teams would put that out. We have Uther, Sonya. And normally that puts us immediately into a situation where we're asking ourselves, hey, is Uther going to be played as a main tank, yes or no? But Vala is banned, so if they really wanted to go for some kind of hyper carry, then the question still remains, who would they use in that situation, right? So, next double pick is now coming in. And yeah, what's the blue team's plan this time? What are they going to do? What is Ultralisk playing? Greymane is still up and gets taken. Great for the camps, of course. Fantastic when you're focusing on mercenary camps to get pressure onto the lane. And on top of that, we now have also Rexa. So, the final few bans coming in. I kind of like what they're having here. They got stuns already. They got Misha that they can send around. Greymane is good for the camps. Brightwing for some global control that they have here. So they went full fruit fly. Sonya... Chen hasn't been played yet either, by the way. So Chen is another one that we could see. We've seen them actually quite a lot. And if anything, I would have more so expected him on a different map, but still highlighting it here because it is a possible option for at least a few of the teams. We talked a lot. I talked earlier about, like, you know, the old washing machine. Sonya crater on 20, and then Chen jumps into the crater and gets the washing machine going. Suljin gets banned. That's actually sad. That would have been a very nice pick as well. Yes, obviously, okay. Uther as a main tank, second support coming in. Yes, there's your answer. Who would be the hyper carry if Vala is not available? Suljin. I kind of like my Suljin games. If a third season of the Banshee Cup ever comes together, I personally can totally see putting Suljin on the bounty board. We had him played a few times, but I honestly expected him to be played more than he was. But he's one of those heroes that is always fun when he gets played. The same for the Vikings! We have the Vikings in the house, everybody! It is Viking time! So, good stuff. Lost Vikings, they need a strong form, man. They're already working on it. But me likey. Any Viking game is a win in my book, I gotta say. Leaves us with Ultralisk and X-Ray, the final two picks for the blue team. They hope to, of course, end the series here on Garden of Terror. And it's Falstad for Global, and we get Stitches. So Gorge, Gust as an option. Brightwing could go Emerald Wind if they want to have more isolation plays. Misha with the stun, Greymane with the damage. Falstad can chip in, of course. And then on top of that, we have Commander Rex, the final pick here for the 4-man, 4-team Masqueraders. They are hoping to force game number 5 and make this a long, long series. So, God of Terror, final pick. What's it going to be for the red team? We're talking Thrall. Alright, Green Jesus is in the house, the War Chief, ladies and gentlemen. Let's head straight into the 4th map of the best of 5. Game number 4. Team Ultralisk still in the lead in the series with a 2-1 score. We have Menaldor for the blue team, with Rexa, Ultralisk on Falstad, Außenseiter on Greymane, Porky on Brightwing, and X-Ray is playing the Stitches. Over on the right side, after they finally put a point onto the board, we got Team Mascarade in red, today without Mascarade, with Yasu on Sonya, Serdath on the Vikings, going straight into some Olaf action with a level 1 choice, Olaf the Stout. We have Valar on Thrall, Exilom on Uther, and Commander Rex is playing Junkrat. So, when you're looking actually at the composition that is being played by the red team here, it's quite clear that they're actually playing Uther as a main tank right now, and they have, of course, a triple front line with Thrall and with Sonya. So, trying to be a little bit beefy on this. Uther doubling support, and one of the tanks for them has that extra stun. They didn't add a second support to the equation, but they have the Vikings. So the whole idea was to have a very strong 4-man that can roam the map as the Vikings are still trying to control the lanes as best as possible. So if the combo works out for... It's definitely a bit out there. I mean, it's not just standard draft that we're getting from them in this case, but we'll see if they can make this one work, or how it's going to play out in the end. But already some hook attempts by Stitches. Yeah. Ultralisk also has to be slightly careful. But I'm pretty curious what's going to happen in this game. I mean, if game number 5, don't get me wrong, would be absolutely amazing. If we would get to that point, this would be super funny. I would really enjoy that. But right now, we're not getting any of this. Right now, it's just like early game shenanigans with the Vikings slowly starting to set things up and trying to make their plays. And then we have to just, yeah, figure out what the blue team can do here. And obviously, their idea is going to be to do as much work with this as they can on camps, get those kills, maybe then the Gorge and the Gust combo, if they're aiming for that, and decide to not go Putrid Bile, and keep Greymane on camps or on structures as much as they can. And he's already pushing at the top together with Menaldor and Rexa. So this is a really good opportunity for them to get easy structural damage in, because, well, Balog alone can't do anything here. So by the time that Commander Rex and Junkrat rotates over and starts to help out, the entire wall is already gone. So this is already a huge win for them right here. So pretty nice. We get on level 4 immediately the Vile Cleaver. At the bottom of the map, still fighting out. And to be fair to the red team, they at least stole a camp away, right? So they got the Siege Giants. It's good for them. But they're still losing a lot in the process because, yes, Greymane on structures is just fantastic. So Junkrat is already a bit low. Misha had to be sacrificed in order to make it work. But this is a play that will be repeated time and time again if they can. Rotate Greymane onto lanes, let him do structural damage, let him do his thing, and yeah, play around there as much as you can with those plays. So, if that's going to work out for them in the end or not, that's a different question, but for now things are actually working pretty smooth. A few camps get picked up, the first seed is also up on the map. Red team is of course interested in getting as many camps as they possibly can too, apply more pressure onto the lanes. It's a huge map, and if you're not diligent about cleaning those out, then you will lose map presence and also some structures in the process. They're pushing again with the next camp at the bottom, and there you see him again. Greymane is already here. They're starting to immediately do damage. Junkrat is a bit faster now on the rotation, but the problem for him is still going to be the same. They are going to lose quite a bit here, which is why the red team is now rotating over and is trying to prevent the worst from happening. Maybe even get a kill or two. Poor Q is low and down. They brought the big fly swatter today. They brought Sonya, and Trashwing has been eliminated. So, Fruit Fly down. Yeah, the infestation is gone. 3 stacks for Thrall as he's trying to get his level 4 talent completed. Pack has gone into Ancestral Wrath, of course, as a level 7 talent. Absolutely amazing talent. I mean, a bit of a nuke, self-sustain. It has it absolutely all. So, a fantastic talent here for him. Level 7. We're actually seeing Stitches continuing the build with the Purification here after he went into the Vile Cleaver, at least initially. Only 1 kill in the game, but second seed is up. So, a bit of a neutral position for it. They're already starting to attack. Lots of globals, of course, also on the side of Team Ultralisk. Losing Misha, yeah. False and Right Wing could come in to help out. Talking about helping out, well, yeah, that hook got blocked. Nicely done. Red team picks up their first seed, but Falstad had a bit more presence at the bottom of the map. Also the reason why he went for Secret Weapon, of course, here. More structural damage, if he can get that properly out. Ooh. And at the top, another camp that gets invaded. Apparently they're trying to steal Siege Shines again. And they're showing up in force. This time Falstad is moving in though. Yeah, Falstad is here. Obviously no ults yet, but the birdie, they're going for Thrall, and he's dead. Completed the quest previously though. They are losing Sonya too. So that's 2 heroes taken down. There are big problems. Come on, the ranks! And Junkrat is deaded. So yeah, Junkrat eliminated. By now, the move towards the top. Because of course, there's still an opportunity to maybe go for that fort and take the entire thing down. If you have Junkrat in the mix, then hell yeah, there's your damage. And they're starting to chunk that easily. And of course now we're working towards level 10. Vikings are still holding the lanes as best they can, but the first fort has been destroyed. They can start to focus their attention onto the bot or the mid lane. Vikings are slowly getting picked up. I mean, not too much again. Most of them still surviving here. But Greymane has already started to rotate over towards the middle. Now this is match point number 2. So for the blue team, they gotta throw everything at them. We got level 10, Putric Bile over Gorge. They don't want to get too cheeky on this. So we have Bile already kind of hinting at that with, of course, the plays and the builds that we've seen. We have still Gust, as you would expect. No surprises when it comes to rogue abilities from the blue team. Leap, on the other hand, for the red team. They're leaping it up. There's the leap into the Riptire, and a dead Falstad. Chicken for dinner, and Außenseiter is gone too. So an easy double kill for the red team as they pick up seed number 2 and unleash their ults. Nice job. Well done. Leap's done against 2 heroes, and then the Riptire kill that followed up on it. So, sweet. Pretty nicely done. Now, blue team obviously has to react to this. We have also on the Viking Horde 25 stacks now. We'll see how diligent Serath is going to be about it and how much survivability he is going to get with that. The regeneration on this is obviously always mega neat if you get it to a high level. It can be mega annoying in the late game. Just move out of a fight real quickly and then back in. Leading experience now also goes to Team Mascarade. And, well, Team Ultralisk, they didn't attempt for a bounty this time. They just want to play this one straight up and make sure that they're winning it. That they're getting their game won here. But the attack is still happening. Olaf gets hit and killed. So Olaf gone. 4 kills to 3. Viking kills are starting to add up a little bit. Next seed is spawning on the top left. It's a pretty nice position also for the blue team. They want to make this 2-2, of course. Nobody wants to deal with Garden Terrors just yet in the game. But the attack at the bottom. Oh, the gust timing. Perfect. The Riptire gets interrupted. No chance there. Divine Shield on Sonya as they try to turn it. But this could have been bad for the blue team. They are able to stop this. At the top, we still have Eric being chased away. As Menaldor is trying to take this. And, well, that's a kill. So Eric is out. And that immediately means that we are now getting next, of course, the second seed for the team in blue. I was actually expecting Belok to die here as well, but Ultralisk didn't have his barrel roll anymore. Yeah, couldn't use that in this case. And unfortunate for him. 13. Level 13 is ready. And once 13 hits, the extended range on Stitch's hook is obviously another huge tool that they're going to have in their arsenal. You can just sit back a little bit and start to unleash those. The bottom of the map. Ooh, Olaf with the dodge. Nicely done. Olaf dodging out on this. 34 stacks by now for the Vikings. So yeah, doing actually very, very well. Leap! And the follow-up and Brightwing gets popped just in the middle of that little jump she made. Very nice attack and great kill for them. This is the moment, by the way, where you hope that you pick Gorge and you realize you didn't. This would have been the perfect opportunity to really lock this one in. But not today. So as is, we're going for Uther. Putrid Bile, already useful here. Uther gets slowed down, but the heals are there. They can't flank in and try and claim him. So yeah, a bit unfortunate. Another quick hook is happening to interrupt the channel. They don't want to go up against Garden Terror, so they're doing their best in order to stop this. And with Greymane committing, we're now having also another Viking eliminated. So, job well done. They're all fighting for the first set of Garden Terrors. Vikings at the top with the ult used are now starting to rejoin the fight as Balok still pushes out the Siege Giants that are traveling through the bot lane, which is also the lane, of course, where they've lost previously their fort, so this is going straight potentially for keeps. And the bottom fort is also fairly low, so this one also in some trouble. But it's all still up for grabs. That seed is still up. Leap and... Oh, Ultralisk, even with the Divine Shield on Sonya! They are saving the bird, but Rexa dies. The red team is gaining so much momentum in these fights, despite the fact that Ultralisk was able to escape. They are now losing Rexa. They only kill Vikings, nothing else. And that channel is starting to become a real risk. I love the poke that we're getting here, but it's a 5 versus 4 essentially, even with all of the ults used. And Thrall can come in with a Sundering, tries to go for the split, but it's not enough to isolate them and get kills. So the red team has to... What a fight, what a battle. This thing is lasting forever. Uther is dead. They saved Stitches. Do not ask me how. And yeah, they're starting to zone them a bit here. What a fight and what a battle. Still not over. They want the Garden Terrors. Sonya's trying to commit again. Brightwing is dead. Falls to Thrall. But Garden Terrors are now taken. Insane, honestly. What a fiesta. Thrall committing Sudoku over here, by the way. What the hell was he thinking? Thrall with the honorable Sudoku walked up to them, sat down on the ground, and started to solve a math puzzle. Yeah, I have no idea what that was. He must have thought that he can come in and maybe kill Stitches real quickly, but no such luck. Bottom fort has now fallen, but with Thrall missing, this is a problem. And now we got Pulverize at level 16. Both teams with level 16 talents, which is of course amazing for the Vikings too, because now they have their stun. But the flank against Sonya is successful. They take her out, they take Junkrat. Oh boy, that is a momentum swing and a half. That hurts. That really just hurts. A moment ago, it was this endless back and forth battle, and now all of a sudden, we're seeing Team Ultralisk going through their opponents like hot butter through cheese. They're shitting all over Team Mascarade. If this goes to game number 5, then the red team is going to need a shower first. Insane. This went from, hey, one fort is gone, to all the forts are destroyed, we're losing the first keep, and we might lose more in the middle of the map. So utter disaster from the perspective of Team Mascarade. It is a problem. And a huge one at that. Boy, they're getting played. Yep, Uther again running away. He's not going to survive, is he? He used the Divine Shield, but even with that, Uther is dead again. X-Ray is hitting those hooks hard, and they have so much momentum. If anything shocks me, then it's that their experience lead isn't bigger than that. But of course, they're controlling the entire map at this point. They're taking Siege Giants away from the opponent. Yeah, another hook, this time against the Vikings. I guess there's still a chance for the red team to stabilize and slowly bring this back, but it's going to be an uphill battle from here on out. Without any fort remaining, it is going to be tricky. It is going to be difficult. So, off we go. Greymane starting to pick this off. Takes the Siege Giants here. Yep. Junkrat is just trying to screw with them a little bit. Not he can do a lot here. And they're going to pick off another one too. Worst case scenario is, of course, an early level 20 with a big gap for Team for Team Ultralisk, but it's a worst case scenario for the red team. And since they're starting to steal all of these away, they honestly need a seed. If they can get a seed for themselves, that kind of helps. That would give them Garden Terrors, that would give them a bit more momentum. But forts are all gone, keep is gone, they're having trouble enough to push into these situations as is. Camp is going to be taken, of course, too. We're going to try and time it here, because it's going to be more pressure against the top side keep, which is already getting low. So, yeah, another problem. But the fight is coming up. One way or another. So, already on the way. 39,000 damage for Junkrat. Just surpassed by Greymane with the 41,000 that he holds. But the attacks still continue. And that's Misha and Eric gone. But double camp at the top, and that's a disaster. That keep is in real danger. Honestly, if they don't send somebody back right now, that keep is gone. The keep is going to get attacked by 2 camps and catapults. There's absolutely no way to hold this unless you're sending heroes back right now. Yasu gets the channel. Yeah, he gets the channel. That might even save them the keep. If they could have just delayed this a bit further, this might have been another keep for them. And they're coming in to take it, Riptire, everything, and it survives. Oh, the kill, the catapult. The keep survives. I think there was definitely a bit more in the cards for the blue team. I think they could have done more here. If not get the Garden Terror or the Seed, they could have at least delayed it a bit further to make sure that topside keep falls. But now they have to, they at least have an easy defense. The gap in experience is there and they will hit the early level 20, but it's not as impactful as you might think. So, yeah. Let's see. Level 20. They don't want to fight before they have 20. Stitches gets kind of caught here. Yeah, X-Ray, there's the Gust. He's trying to get out, and instead Brightwing is hit again. Leap from... Sorry. Brightwing is actually getting murdered a lot. Porky is really trying to help keep his teammates alive, and as a reward, he gets killed over and over and over again. I mean, congratulations, now they have level 20 talents, and that gives us the upgrade with Epic Mount, and we're also getting gift from the Embalmer. But the problem that they're still facing is that that level 20 advantage doesn't do anything for them, because they are now all of a sudden the ones that, well, they're not behind, but they're losing structures. They're the ones that all of a sudden lose structures, and level 20 has been picked up by their opponents too. So, yeah. Falstad can at least fly or sneak towards the top and take that keep, I suppose. So that's another play they can make. It's kind of interesting, though, that they didn't lose more than 1 fort. So 1 fort at the bottom of the map is all that was essentially lost. I thought at least the one in the middle would also get picked up, but nope, not so much. Junkrat also hasn't made a choice yet, so he's still waiting here. But yeah, the birdie could make this difficult. If Falstad starts flying around on the map and really leverage his global abilities, just play macro, that could start to become a serious problem for them. So, well, we'll see. But again, in the middle, they still got to deal with the Siege Giants here. But it's become an interesting map. 11 to 8 kills, 20 versus 20. Structurally, of course, still a significant advantage for Team Ultralisk, because they are trying to close the series out. But it's not unbridgeable. You can definitely work with this. You can definitely make some moves here. So, we'll see. Now, the Vikings are obviously also another factor to figure in here. Because we have talked about Falstad and his global abilities, but the same is essentially true for the Vikings. They can push these lanes out. They now have also Fury of the Storm, so that is going to help with it a lot. Junkrat has decided to go for the extra oomph. It's taking a little bit to make that choice, but yep, there it is. And it's all going to come down to the team fights again. Sonya, by the way, went for the composite spear. So gets the range in and also the extra armor, always assuming that she connects. 69 stacks for the Vikings. Nice. Sundering. Again, leap. Nice connect with 3 heroes, but not good enough. And Sonya gets, Stitches. Sonya gets the Divine Shield after she was hooked into the battle again and is able to survive. I love the way that the red team is controlling most of the fights, and they still have Balog at the top pushing for structures. So the Vikings are really starting to do a bit of a number on Ultralisk's team. Forstead can compensate. Question is just how much. Seed is being given over. It's only the first seed, so it doesn't really have too much of an impact just yet. We're looking also at 54,000 damage for Junkrat. Still the top dog in the game, followed by Thrall. Forstead at the top. And we have Greymane with 46,000. So he is the next one on the totem pole here. Now, still no kill after we hit those level 20 talents and after all of this came through. And now things are starting. It's not getting too serious yet. Again, the second seed. You don't want to give it up if you're the red team, but if you really have to, you could. It's not that big of a problem. Big kill against Eric at the bottom of the map. At this point, taking Vikings out on the side lane, which is actually huge. Sundering, Forstead with another Gust. Lead by Sonya. Yasuo has to be mega careful, and he's dead. This time, no Divine Shield to save the day. So that's a kill right there. Oh boy. Brightwing gets killed as a result, but they also have Thrall on the wrong side of that fort on the map. So yeah, voila, he goes down too. They're trying to kill Greymane, but he's able to get away with the mobility that he still holds here. So, yep, this is starting to, again, get a bit tricky for Team Mascarade. They've played a fantastic game, and they got themselves into a situation that they could potentially win this one again. But they're also now losing ground. It's a 4 versus 3, so that makes things already tricky from their perspective. And then on top of that, the second seed gets picked up, which means that we are getting closer and closer to the second set of Garden Terrors for the blue team. Thanks to the map control that they currently have, with the numbers advantage that they're running, they also can first and foremost try and go for that top side keep. They might even be able to pick up a few more camps, just apply some more pressure. Stitches is already saying hello here too, and yep, the keep falls, which means that 2 lanes are now heavily attacked by catapults. So yep, they're gonna deal on 2 lanes with that pressure, which is of course a problem. Especially since we're now 20 minutes into this game. So when you're talking about catapults that are getting towards the core, yeah, these guys hit hard. They're scaling. They're scaling very, very heavily at this point. Now, quest completed over here, as I already said previously. 13 to 9. Hook comes in. They take the camp. Siege Giants are there. Sundering gets used. Gust. Riptire. Yeah, a lot of interrupts are happening. People are going instantly for their ults. Stitch is always ready to YOLO out another hook to try and get that isolation play and the kill that wouldn't seriously, I mean, it would follow if they played right. And they're just trying to establish a good position around the next seed that spawns, because this is, again, a big one for them. Always assuming that they're able to get it. If they grab the seed here, then it is lights out most likely. There's already a problem at the bot lane as they're pushing in with Siege Giant camp with catapults too towards the core. And guys, this is 5 catapults. That core is going to get murdered. 1 Viking is trying to defend it right now, heavily reliant on the level 20 talent. Junkrat helped out too, but the core still fell down to 85%. They have to fight for the seed, which is exactly what we're seeing from them right now. Doing as much work here as they possibly can in order to keep a chance alive to win the game. Sonya has to lead out in order to save herself. Misha gone, Peter informed, but the seed is about to be channeled. Eric trying to interrupt, and he makes it work, but gets killed. Ultralisk talking about getting killed, able to get out. Greymane also on the run, and the 2 of them survive. That was the one hope, I suppose, for the red team. But they haven't given up yet. I mean, they're still fighting for it. They're still sitting here, throwing everything they have at the opponent's team. And can they kill Stitches? Yes, they can! But they might pay a big price for it. Thrall is gone. Falstad flies in for Sonya. Thrall and Uth have both fallen. Sonya has died. The price was too high. 17 kills, 210, and that is likely going to be the end of it. What a performance again by Team Ultralisk here. They were shut down whenever they tried to play a bounty, but they are able to make big plays work now towards the end of the game, because this is undeniably going to be the end. Uther and Junkrat are just not enough to save this. The Garden Terrors all the way over on the right side of the map already, and the attacks, they just keep coming. The core already down to 85%, and this is a victory for Team Ultralisk. They're going to move on to the winners match of Group B at the Banshee Cup Season 2. Team Mascarade falls down towards the first elimination match. GG, well played, and a very, very nice victory here on Garden of Terror.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.